Hello and welcome to another installment of the Pug's Thoughts in the Doghouse. I'm Pug and here's what I'm thinking. This is the second video of the week. We're going over comments I received last week about the NFL draft. This group of videos, in case you missed the first video, is called Thoughts from Football Fans because not necessarily all of the comments are talking about the Seattle Seahawks. Talking about the NFL draft in general, and we're actually going to go over those comments in the next video. And I was originally going to do a piece on the NHL playoffs, but I can't do that again in case you're tuning in. Once again, because the first round's not over. You got the Phoenix Coyotes and Detroit Red Wings playing tonight, Game 7, and also Game 7 for the Washington Capitals and Montreal Canadiens is tomorrow, and then I'm going out of town. So when I come back from going out of town in a couple of days, we'll see where I'm at. We'll see where the playoffs at. We might get that video, we might not. So let's start out this video with Mentally Juiced. Good to hear from you again. And the Mentally Juiced writes, I think Seattle had a great first round. What do you think? I'll get to that in a second. And then he writes, man, the Seahawks had an amazing draft with 3 exclamation points. Drafted some studs as well as traded pretty much for nothing for Lindell White and Leon Washington. Are you happy as I am with the Seahawks staff right now? I had a bad feeling that Carroll was going to screw this draft up. Okay, so here's my thoughts on the Seattle Seahawks draft picks. They still haven't proven anything, and you know it is a draft, and I don't want to get my hopes up because once again, you know, I remember when we drafted, you know, players in the first round. I remember when we got Kelly Jennings, Lawrence Jackson, Aaron Curry, and everybody was, you know, really excited. So I'm trying to take it one day at a time, one game at a time, because these players haven't proven anything yet. However, for the first time since the beginning of last season, I think the Seattle Seahawks have finally figured out their problems on the field. And you could say it's blatantly obvious we needed the type of players that we got in this draft, but I never got that impression that the Seahawks were actually willing to take a step back, look at the drawing board, and say what they need and figure out what they needed to do in order to be successful again. Because Jim Mora and Tim Ruskell would always go for the same plan, even though we were getting blown out and things weren't working. And I can think of numerous examples. You know, Julius Jones running instead of Justin Forsett. You know, also Greg Knapp using a power offense when it was blatantly obvious that the Seahawks weren't designed to be a power offense. And so, our new players are a sign the Seattle Seahawks are trying to move in the right direction, and they are trying to take it back to formula. I'm very happy about that. In fact, this is probably the first time where I actually think the Seahawks are actually trying to rebuild their team. You know, because I've said before, they haven't come out and said they're rebuilding, you know, to a press conference. I mean, they haven't. Excuse me. Let me rephrase that. They haven't come out and said in a press conference that they're rebuilding or anywhere. I haven't found any sources saying that they're rebuilding, but now I think that they are rebuilding, and this says that they are, and they're taking it back to formula, which is very, very good. Once again, will our new players become studs in the NFL? Time will tell. But once again, this is a draft, and the players haven't proven a thing. So hopefully it will pan out. But as of now, they look very good on paper. Thanks again for Mentally Juiced. Juiced's comment. Next up is Lost Place 44. I like your first statement. No, I do not hate Hasselbeck. Okay, just making sure. He also writes, I do find it kind of odd when we were getting blown out last year that Mora didn't put one of our backups in. I do, however, hope Carroll has the stones to do it. Mora didn't always talk about giving Forsett more carries, but he kept handling the ball to Julius Jones, our 2-yard wonder. My only worry about Forsett is can his body take the beating, and should he split carries with a bigger back? I really like how our draft fell today. I did not want, I did want Okung over Williams because overall Okung is the better pick. Earl Thomas was secondary, was pretty okay, I think he meant to say Earl Thomas. I mean, our secondary was pretty horrible, and Earl Thomas will fit in well. I think there's a typo in there. I think we got a huge steal at 60 with Golden Tate, and he's going to be wearing Nady's number. Can't wait till next year. Thanks again for another response. You're welcome. Also, Lost Place 44, we had a couple of comments agreeing with you in the Charlie Whitehurst video that you commented in. That's from TC Females. They say I agree, Lost Place 44 on you on that, and Blinky Sauce says it's a steep price unless he starts and performs well, referring to the Charlie Whitehurst trade. So I am concerned about Forset's body too. That was a concern when we drafted him, but I still say he deserves an opportunity. This actually leads me to a topic of conversation that is completely away from Lost Place 44's comments. I really like our new running backs. We got Leon Washington from the New York Jets and Lendell White from the Tennessee Titans. This means we have White, Washington, Forset, and Julius Jones at running back. I like these new players because it shows me we're going to see a new running scheme. Chances are one of the running backs will be cut at or be used in a different way, like playing a different position. I think Forset, even though I want him to play, will be cut, but these moves to get these running backs show Julius Jones is going to have to fight for the position and possibly land on the sideline where he belongs. Don't get me wrong, Jones would probably do a little better if we had a better offensive line, but our 2-yard wonder, I like that nickname by the way, Lost 44, our 2-yard wonder could end up on the sideline to make way for Washington and White. We'll see what happens, and good luck to Forset. I really hope he gets a chance and is a part of our game plan. So this concludes the second video. The third video we'll be talking about some other things in the draft. We'll get to the last two comments and messages from the week before. Thanks to everyone who's commented, who I've addressed already. And until next time, this has been another installment of the Pug's Thoughts in the Doghouse.